Natural experiments. In natural experiments, nature itself manipulates the independent variable, and the experimenter observes the effects. Natural experiments must be used for studying the psychological effects of unusual and unpredictable events, such as floods, earthquakes, plane crashes, and fires. Because the participants in these studies are selected by an accident of fate rather than by the investigator's design, natural experiments are actually a kind of quasi-experiment. On December 26, 2004, an earthquake occurred beneath the Indian Ocean off the coast of Sumatra, Indonesia. The earthquake triggered a series of massive tsunamis that flooded the ocean's coastal communities, killed more than 225,000 people, and injured and left millions of survivors homeless. Particularly in Indonesia, Sri Lanka, India, and Thailand. It was one of the deadliest natural disasters in history. Within months of this disaster, researchers conducted natural experiments in which they collected data from hundreds of survivors and from control groups of people who lived in areas not directly affected by the tsunamis. The disaster survivors scored significantly higher on anxiety and depression measures, dependent variables, than the controls did. The survivors also experienced more sleep problems, feelings of detachment, arousal, difficulties concentrating, startle responses, and guilt feelings than the controls did. Over the past several years, other natural experiments have focused on survivors of the 2010 Haitian earthquake, the massive earthquake and tsunami in Japan in 2011, the Northeast superstorm Sandy in 2012, and the unprecedented Oklahoma tornadoes in 2013. These studies have also revealed lingering psychological symptoms among survivors of those disasters. Because natural experiments rely on unexpected occurrences in nature, they cannot be repeated at will. Also, because each natural event is unique in certain ways, broad generalizations drawn from a single study could be incorrect. Nevertheless, catastrophes have provided opportunities for hundreds of natural experiments over the years, and certain findings have been obtained repeatedly. As a result, clinical scientists have identified patterns of reactions that people often have in such situations. You will read about these patterns: acute stress disorders and post-traumatic stress disorders. Quasi-experiment, an experiment in which investigators make use of control and experimental groups that already exist in the world at large. Also called a mixed design. Natural experiment, an experiment in which nature, rather than an experimenter, manipulates an independent variable. Analog experiment, a research method in which the experimenter produces abnormal-like behavior in laboratory participants and then conducts experiments on the participants.